Hey guys, Ghost Prepper here. Today we're looking at the Kelty Redwing 50. In this video we're going to be talking about some of the features of this bag, as well as why I believe it would be a great option for a bug-out bag or backpacking camping bag. So stay with us and let's get going on this video. As stated before, this is the Kelty Redwing 50. This is a 50-liter backpack made by Kelty. This version is the forest green version. It's coming in a little over 3 pounds, in between 3 1/3 to 3.5 pounds. A couple features on this backpack. You flip it over. So this one actually has a light beam aluminum stay that runs down the middle. One of the selling features also is this dynamic airflow in the back. So let's go through it and kind of look at all the different compartments. So let's start back here. One of the things I really like about this backpack is the really comfy straps. Having nice straps is super important, especially if you're putting a lot of weight on this pack. This pack currently has, this is my current bug-out bag. This has about 35 pounds of gear in it, so it's pretty heavy. So you want to make sure that you have nice shoulder pads, as well as the back padding in here, and the lower back sort of lumbar support padding. Another thing I really like about this pack is the waist straps. On some other backpacks, they're really thin. This one has a lot of padding, which is awesome. It also has some webbing here as well, so you can attach sort of like any sort of molly or belt clip. So here I have a Leatherman attached to this, but it's a nice, definitely a nice feature. Going back to the top, so you have the sternum strap as well. The nice thing about this is you don't have to do any sort of crazy adjustment. It just slides along, which is awesome, so you can adjust it to your height. You also have some elastic banding up at the top. Now it's not as good as like any sort of molly webbing, but you can attach like a small radio to here. I think it would be kind of loose if you were running around, but it will do the trick. In my opinion, I think something like this would be good for like anything you're trying to dry out. So let's say you've got socks you've been hiking with. You don't want to put your dirty, stinky socks back in there. But you don't necessarily maybe want to wear that, around your neck. That can be kind of uncomfortable. So you can just put them here, dry them out, or maybe you have like I said, a washcloth or some sort of shamag or something like that. You can kind of stash that in there as well, and then that way you're kind of using the straps for additional storage. One of the things I kind of dislike about this pack, and it's going to be kind of one of the only negative parts about it, is this strap right here, the back strap. For whatever reason, and you'll see once we flip it over to the front, it's much more robust. This one's really small. I don't know why. It's kind of uncomfortable if you're trying to pick up the pack from the back end, which is a kind of a common way to pick it up. So that's kind of my only complaint about this pack, is just this small handle. I have no idea why they made it this small. You'll see, like I said, with the front one, it's much bigger. This one kind of hurts your hands a little bit, so I try to not pick it up from this side as much as possible. So let's go ahead and flip the pack around to the side. One of the nice things about this backpack is you have very large side pockets. You have two, one on either side. So you can go ahead and see in there, I have like a spool tool in here. I have sort of a survival more knife in here, but it's just really nice to have all this extra room. It's pretty big, and again, you have one on either side. It's just one nice little zipper that comes with one of these little lanyards. You also have two sort of water bottle mesh netting pockets on either end that has a strap in there as well to secure whatever you have. So if you have your water bottle, you can go ahead and strap it down. I have tested these side pockets. So these side pockets go all the way through, as you can see. That's actually meant for like trekking poles, or any sort of like trekking poles or like walking sticks if you're using something like that. The nice thing is I have tested it. You can actually fit a small rifle in here. So I have the Ruger 1022 with the Magpul backpacker stock, and it will actually fit in there. Obviously, I have it folded up inside because I don't want to be, necessarily brandishing and telling everyone that I have a rifle. But it is really nice to have that option where, let's say, if I was in a more remote area, I don't have to keep it in there. I can kind of put it in the side. Or if you decide to have sort of a trekking pole style tent, and that's where you want to keep, those, or tent poles or wherever, you have that as an option. So let's go ahead and just show off the other side real quick. Again, you have another side strap, more storage on this side. I have a sort of water filter here, but you can kind of see the size, just for those quick to reach items, and then another one of these mesh pockets. And again, I have a smart water bottle in here, and I have that cinched down with the strapping. So it's really nice to be able to secure whatever you have, whether that be a water bottle, or let's say you decide to put your trekking poles in here or a rifle in here. It's nice that you can strap it down. And there's a strap at the top as well. And let's go ahead and get to the front of the pack. Now, this pack, again, this is the front handle. You can see from here, it's much more robust. It's a lot bigger. I don't know why they didn't put this on the back. This is much more comfortable to grab the pack with, and I almost try to always pick it up from this side just because that other back grab handle is so uncomfortable. But this is much easier to use. It also has really nice stitching on here. Now if we want to go ahead and start getting into the pack, this front pouch has a really nice organizational section in here. Go ahead and flip that around. You've got nice pockets. This is really the only sort of compartmentalized part. Everything else is just sort of more like a rucksack style, so it's just one big open pocket, one big pocket. You have a top pocket, and then as well as the main compartment, which really isn't divided. So it's nice that they did throw in a little bit of storage. I have like a first aid kit, flashlight, pens, stuff like that you kind of want to keep a little more organized. I like to keep that in here just so it's easy to access and everything's split apart. They've got some Velcro as well. What I also like about this pocket as well is it's got a nice little Velcro attachment. So if you have stuff down in here, you can kind of separate it and be able to access that a lot easier. I think that's a super nice feature to have, so you're not trying to like dig through the whole pack. And then let's go ahead and open up this top pocket. So this is really nice. I like to just keep like gloves or a hat in here, whatever you want. I've seen people do sunglasses, stuff like that. It's kind of just like easy to access stuff, but it's nice to have a nice little top pocket up there so you can just put, again, more quick stuff. And then let's go ahead and open up the main compartment of the pack. So it's got these compression straps on the side. I'm going to go ahead and undo that. That actually helps when you really have this thing stuffed. I took some stuff out of here so I'm not struggling on the table. But it's got these nice little U zippers, so you could totally peel open the pack, which I like because I can just set the pack down then and not have to worry about digging. You could basically get almost to the bottom, which is nice. So if you have stuff buried, you don't have to dig through like a sort of a modern rucksack. You could go ahead and kind of access everything you need. As you can see in here, there's a lot of room. It is just basically one big compartment. There is a little bit of, so there is an elastic band here that you can use, as well as some hooks. And then there is one little divider in here. I'll have to empty it out to show you guys, but there's one divider in here with an elastic band to kind of keep stuff off and organized. If you were to have like a laptop or some other equipment that you wanted to keep separate from the main compartment, which is really nice. As you can see from this pack, you can fit sort of a takedown rifle. This again is the Ruger 1022 with the Magpul backpacker stock, and I fit this in here comfortably. I'd have to measure it out. I believe you can also fit, like I've seen people put like a Keltec in here, the sub 2000. So any sort of takedown rifle, it's probably enough room. I would measure it out beforehand before purchasing it. But yeah, it's got plenty of room in here for all of my stuff. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff. I actually took out some of it just to make it a little bit lighter so I'm not totally struggling with this pack. One of the other things I wanted to highlight is you do have some sort of MOLLE style webbing down here. This is so you can tie, like if you had a thermarest pad or bedroll or sleeping bag, you don't want to throw it in the pack, you can sort of fasten it on here. Or if you had maybe like a smaller, I don't know, like pouch, and you wanted to attach it to the bottom of the bag to create extra storage, or to just have an option so you don't have to constantly bring this pack around. It's nice that they threw in that little bottom section of MOLLE webbing. As you can tell from the outside of the pack, it's not super tactical looking. We'll get into that later, but that was actually sort of a selling point for me as to why I chose it. I like sort of the whole gray man concept, so I really think that it kind of camouflages in. It's a little more civilian looking. So let's go ahead, now that we went through some of the features and I kind of showed you briefly what the pack has to offer, talk about why I think it's a good option. And as I mentioned before, one of the biggest reasons I think it's a great option as a bug out bag or camping bag, hiking bag, is because it's sort of tried and true. I think that a lot of people look past it because it's maybe not tactical looking. So a lot of the prepper community doesn't really consider this a good bug out bag. When the fact of the matter is, if you're bugging out somewhere, you may be walking, you know, tens, if not hundreds of miles on foot. And so I think that this is a great option because a lot of thru hikers use this, a lot of backpackers have used this. This pack's been around for a while. So I think it's sort of a tried and true backpack for that application. And yes, it doesn't have maybe all of the MOLLE webbing on the outside, but there's still plenty of options to fasten gear to the outside as well as the rear. Getting to my second point, I think that it camouflages in better with the general population. Now I understand that a lot of these tactical bags are becoming more and more common. A lot of guys use more tactical looking MOLLE webbing on the outside or PALS webbing on the outside for their EDC bags. I've even seen that they started making, you know, sort of tactical looking diaper bags and stuff like that. So it is becoming a little more mainstream. However, I think it does gain a little more attention than I'd like. When you see someone with this bag, you know, if they were walking around the forest preserve, they kind of just look like they're going on a long hike or camping or whatever. I don't think that necessarily when you see someone with this pack, you would look at them and go, oh, you know, they have a fold-down rifle or they have super cool survival gear. Or I think it makes you a little less of a target. And I think it raises a lot less concern than some of the other packs that are more, you know, sort of tactical looking. So that's why I think it'd be a really great option, honestly, and that's why I've chosen it as my personal bug out bag. If you want to go ahead and take a look at how I set it up as a bug out bag, I'll put a link to that video in the description, as well as put a link at the end of the video. So that's basically a quick rundown of the bag and why I think it's a good option. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what bug out bags you guys are using. Put, you know, a comment down and say what bug out bag you have, and maybe or other suggestions for our other viewers. Guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. I appreciate all the support I get from you guys. And if you guys like the content I've been putting out, please subscribe. It definitely helps support the channel and makes it a lot easier, and it definitely encourages me to keep putting out content for you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate everything you guys do for me. It keeps me going and keeps me trying to get as many videos out for you guys as possible. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.